Amritha Dhaaraa, the shower of eternity. Amritha Dhaaraa speaks of the eternal grace of the divine parents of the universe, Shiva and Paarvathi, with reference to the sacred temple town of Thirukkadaiyur in Tamizhnaadu. Amrita is the eternity bestowing nectar or ambrosia that is supposed to be consumed by the gods, which makes them immortal. Dhara means a shower or dripping in Sanskrit. Amritha Dhaaraa thus narrates the shower of eternity on two humans who beat death by the divine grace of Shiva and Paarvathi in this sacred temple town of Thirukkadaiyur. The resilience of the human spirit offers hope during the depths of despair. It symbolizes the notion that even in the coldest, darkest periods of our lives, there is always a glimmer of light and hope and the promise of brighter days ahead. Amritha Dhaaraa brings out the glory of Shambhu as Kaalasamhaaramurthy, who destroyed Yama, the god of death, to save the 16-year-old Maarkandeya from his imminent death, and Paarvathi as Abhiraamavalli, who hastened to save the precious life of her ardent devotee Abhiraami Bhattar from his death sentence at the sacred kshetra of Thirukkadaiyur. In the opening verse of Raghuvamsha, the famous poet Kalidasa prays to Shiva and Paarvathi thus: Vagarthaviva sampriktau Vagartha pratipattaye Jagadav pitarau vande Paarvati Parameshwarau. I worship Paarvati and Parameshwara, the parents of the world, who are inseparable, just like a word and its sense, to guide me in acquiring the right understanding of words and their meanings. The story of Maarkandeya and Sri Kaalasamhaaramurthy of Thirukkadaiyur. Sage Mrigandu and his wife Marudvati performed penance to win the blessings of Shiva to beget a child. Shiva, pleased with their penance, offered a choice: either a virtuous son who will have a short life of only 16 years or a foolish son who will have a long life. The pious couple chose to be parents of a virtuous son whom they named Maarkandeya. Legend has that towards the end of the 15th year, Maarkandeya, who had grown up to be a great devotee of Shiva, questioned the look of gloom that his parents were trying to hide in vain and learned the truth about his lifespan. Consoling them that Shiva would take care of his devotees, Maarkandeya sat down praying in front of the Shivalinga in the temple of Thirukkadaiyur. It is believed that, pleased with the prayers, Brahma taught Maarkandeya the Mahamrityunjaya mantra. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Maarkandeya continued to chant the Mahamrityunjaya mantra. On the destined day, Yama, the god of death, invariably had to come personally to draw the life out of Maarkandeya, as his messengers failed in their attempts. Maarkandeya, seeing Yama, held on to the Shivalinga like a child would cling to a parent. Yama, bound by his duty, had no choice but to fling the noose of death towards the boy holding on to the Shivalinga. At the touch of the noose, it is said that Shiva emerged from the linga and brought Yama down with a kick to the chest. All the gods appeared before the angry Shiva and pacified him to spare Yama. Shiva relented and pardoned Yama and blessed Maarkandeya with the boon of immortality, which means never aging beyond 16. Maarkandeya went on to compose the Mahamrityunjaya Stotram in the divine presence of Kaalasamhaaramurthy, who is none other than Shiva. Om Rudram Pashupatim Sthanum Neelakantam Umapatim Namami Shirasa Devam Kimno mrityuhu karishyati. What can death do to the one who salutes with his head that God who is the Lord of all beings, who is stable, who has a blue neck, and who is the consort of Uma? Mrityunjaya Mahadeva Trahimam Sharanagatam Janma Mrityu Jara Rogaihi Piditam Karma Bandhanehi. O great God, who has won over God of death, please save me as I am submitting to you from births, deaths, old age and disease, and also the ties of karma which affect me. A Thevaram verse composed by the Shaivite saint Thirunavukarasar, wherein he mentions the incident of Maarkandeya and Kaalasamhaaramurthy. This verse is sung by Srimati Malini Kumar.
மருட்டுயர்த்திர அன்று அர்ச்சித்த மாணி மார்க்கண்டேயர்காய் இருட்டிய மேனி வளைவாள் எயிற்றெறி போலும் குஞ்சி சுருட்டிய நாவில் வெங்கூற்றம் பதைப்ப உதைத்து உங்கனே உருட்டிய சேவடியான் கடவுர் உரை உத்தமனே திருக்கடவுர் உரை உத்தமனே.
Interestingly, in the Thirukkadaiyur Kaalasamhaaramurthy Padigam composed by Sri Abhiraami Bhattar, he also mentions about the incident of Maarkandeya and Sri Kaalasamhaaramurthy. பாலனுக்காவன்று பகடேரி வந்தெதிர்த்த காலனுக்கு காலா கடவுரா மேலோர் கரும்பு கொண்டங்கெதிர்ந்து வந்தங்கசன் பெருஞ்சரங்கள் கண்டு மருண்டு நெஞ்சங்கலங்குமென்றன் மான். O Kadavur Kaalasamhaaramurthy Deva, when Yama appears before me to take my life away, you must protect me as you have done earlier for the sake of your beloved child Maarkandeya. The story of Abhiraami Bhattar and goddess Abhiraamavalli of Thirukkadaiyur. There lived a devotee by name Subramaniam in the temple town of Thirukkadaiyur in Tamizhnaadu. This town has a very famous Shiva temple where the presiding deity is worshipped as Sri Amritha Dhaaraa and his consort Paarvathi as goddess Abhiraami. Subramaniam was deeply devoted to goddess Abhiraami. So intense was his faith that he was always lost in meditation, often seeing the moonlight face of the goddess in his mind. Some people thought that he was a saint, while some thought that he was a crazy man. Subramaniam continued meditating on goddess Abhiraami, oblivious to what people thought about him or what the world spoke about him. On one new moon day, what we call as Amavasya, the local king, Sarfoji, came to the temple of Thirukkadaiyur for a darshan of the divine couple. At the sanctorum of the goddess, he found Subramaniam deep in meditation. Subramaniam's complete oblivion to his presence angered Sarfoji as he was used to people saluting him. The king asked the people at the temple about Subramaniam, and some of them said that he was a very saintly man. The king decided to run a test of his own on the man sitting before him. He nudged the meditating Subramaniam and asked him if he knew what day of the lunar month was that day. Now everyone knew that it was a new moon day or a Amavasya, when the night sky would be moonless and dark. But Subramaniam, whose eyes were fixed on the divine face of goddess Abhiraami, which shone like 1,000 moons, blurted that it was a full moon day or Paurnami. Incensed by the wrong answer, the king ordered that Subramaniam be punished. As per the king's order, Subramaniam was to be suspended on a wooden deck hung over a blazing fire with the help of ropes. The deck hosting Subramaniam was to be lowered into the fireplace below at dusk if the moon did not rise as per the orders of the king Sarfoji. But as happens with all men of God, Subramaniam remained unperturbed. It is said that while hovering over the blazing fire, Subramaniam composed and rendered 100 hymns in praise of goddess Abhiraami, which is very popularly known as Abhiraami Andadi. After each hymn was rendered, the deck was lowered further, but the moon did not arise. The onlookers waited with bated breath to see what would happen. Legend has it that just as Subramaniam finished rendering his 79th hymn, goddess Abhiraami appeared before him. She removed her earring, which is called as Tadanga, and threw it in the sky, where the earring became a brilliant full moon. Subramaniam's words had indeed come true. There was now a round silvery full moon that shone like a brilliant jewel, turning an otherwise dark night sky into a brightly lit celestial canvas. The king was astonished and sought forgiveness from Subramaniam and set him free. The 79th hymn from Abhiraami Andadi goes like this. Vilike Arulundu Abhiraamavallikku வேதம் சொன்ன வழிக்கே வழிபட நெஞ்சுண்டு எமக்கு அவ்வழி கிடக்க பழிக்கே சுழன்று எம் பாவங்களே செய்து பாழ் நரக குழிக்கே அழுந்தும் கயவர் தம்மோடு என்ன கூட்டினியே.
விழிக்கே அருளுண்டு அபிராமவல்லிக்கு வேதம் சொன்ன வழிக்கே வழிபட நெஞ்சுண்டு எமக்கு அவ்வழி கிடக்க பழிக்கே சுழன்று வெம்பாவங்களே செய்து பாழ்நரக குழிக்கே அழுந்தும் கயவர்த்தமோடு என்ன கூட்டு இனி.
The meaning of this hymn can be explained thus. Shakti, the Divine Mother, protects her children just by looking at them lovingly with her beautiful eyes, like the mother fish protecting the newly born baby fish. That is why she has epithets like Meenakshi, Kamakshi, Visalakshi, Nilayatakshi, etc. Abhiraami Bhattar thus stresses the greatness of the beautiful eyes of goddess Abhiraami. Further, Abhiraami Bhattar cries thus, while I know the real truth, why are you still keeping me alive among the wicked people? Why should I still be here without your powerful protection, O Mother Goddess? At once, goddess Abhiraami appeared and threw her Tadanga earring to the sky, which instantly became a beautiful moon. Thus, the Amavasya Tithi or the new moon day became Paurnami or full moon day to protect her child Abhiraami Bhattar. Such was the unwavering bhakti or faith of the 16-year-old Markandeya for his beloved Shambhu that Shiva himself emerged from the linga to stop Yama, the god of death, who had come to claim the boy's precious life. Markandeya became a much revered sage later in his life. If winter comes, can spring be far behind? When the father comes rushing to save his child, will the mother be far behind? Abhiraami Bhattar too was sentenced to death by the egotistic king Sarfoji for calling the new moon day as the full moon day, as Bhattar was lost in deep meditation, looking at the divine face of his mother goddess in his mind's eye. Both these incidents are stellar evidences to prove the dripping grace of the divine parents of the universe at the sacred town of Thirukkadaiyur. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Shri Matre Namaha.